Alright, so here's the deal. For my new app, I really wanted to avoid using Firebase. I mean, Firebase is great for some prototypes, but as your app grows, you will really hit that limitation of not having a real relational database. So I decided, I know this is silly, I decided to roll my own sync. Because we've done that for Reflect Notes, we did it in TypeScript, and I know it's not that hard, but it's also not super trivial. So if you're building a prototype, Firebase is fine. But I used Firebase for Whisper memos, and I'm hitting those limitations now, and I really wish that my backend was just like Rails or some other backend that is properly extensible, and I'm not tied into specific platform. Yes, pricing is part of the deal. I'm an indie developer, and I'm worried about pricing. My apps are B2C, the margins are not crazy, so I'm trying to save a little money as well. So I've been able to create this thing called Sync Manager, and basically I wanted to show it to you. This is just almost 200 lines, and this is the sync in the direction up. So this class so far takes care of pushing changes to backend. For now, I'm not pulling changes from backend, so this is not a real sync just yet. This is just backup. But still, it is pretty cool. So first of all, we are watching changes to anything in our Swift data. Yes, I'm using Swift data. I know some people are not very happy about it, but here I am just trying the new thing. Then we're handling the notifications. First thing that we do is we say create changes, and then we use little debounds to sync those changes. But create changes is the important thing. This is basically creating an object of type sync change. And this one has two important properties, which is entity name and UUID. So it is pointing to any model in your database. And then there are some methods that will give you all the changes that should be synced. So that's pretty simple. So creating changes is looking at this payload from Swift data, which is telling us everything that has been inserted, updated, or deleted. And then it's really just, well, deleting is kind of skipped for now, but then it's just creating inserts and updates, and it is saving those. And then perform sync just reads everything that has been queued, and it makes, so it's using delegate. So there's like a delegate class that is actually building this payload, and then it is like actually running the sync against the server. And in my case, sync context is, so Swift Sync Manager is the generic class, which can be used in any app. And then sync context contains everything which is specific to this app. So we have sync payload, which basically contains everything that has been changed. And then we have list of syncable entities, and then we have a way to fetch model from the context. Yes, this has to be this complicated. There's no way to fetch model by UUID. Guys, this is not Ruby on Rails, this is Swift. So it is a little bit more complicated because everything must be typed, but in general, this class is also just about 100 lines and contains all our specific models. And the thing is, this stuff can be quickly written by AI. So if I decide to add a new model, I'll just, I'll just dispatch one command in Cloud or in Codex, and it will be updated in a couple seconds. So this is not a big deal. So this is the sync that I have so far. It is watching for changes and pushing them to the server. And server, well, I'm still not decided. I'm either going to use Cloudflare workers, which I have a prototype in right now. I can show that to you. Or I'm going to flip it over to Rails. The sync is really simple too. We are listing all these types, but then we're just like calling this function called absurd many. And the schema is also quite simple. So sync server is super simple for now. But all right, so my point is just want to demonstrate how easy it is to create your own sync in iOS app. And what I love about it is I can make it work with a Rails app, and there's, and once you have a Rails app, you can extend your thing as much as you want. So for Whisper memos, I haven't quite been able to do that. I have stuff running all over the place. I have Firebase endpoints, I have Firebase hooks, I have Cloudflare workers. I was kind of trying all kinds of things here, and I really wish I just used Rails and have everything in one place. But next app, right?